Hello. Welcome back to another segment of Owning My Story with your girl here, favorite. And oh, I just woke up from sleep, and yeah, yeah. I don't mind my rusty voice. Like I said, I just woke up from sleep, and yeah, I kind of went to bed so early, and I found myself awake again, and as usual, something cropped into my mind. I'm like, let me come here and give it to my people as raw as it has come. So yeah, as you can see in the title, we're talking about it's the background story, and why I'm bringing this background story. This is something I've actually tackled before, way back. I think last year, but I have to do it again because I have my silent followers. I think probably mostly from Facebook, who are in who are kind of following the things I post, but then some of them have feel in a certain way about the things I post, and I understand them. Um, I understand them. Like, that's what I can say. I do understand them for sure. Um, but the disclaimer I want to put out there is in no way, in no way am I trying to attack my parents or any parent out there with parenting in absolute guys, if anyone has come across any of my videos and has felt that way, I sincerely apologize. You guys have no idea of how much I love my parents, both my mom and dad, and I have had these conversations with them. So those of you who don't know, I have had a conversation with both my parents. For me, with my mom, for the first time, we had a deep conversation was in 2019. But in that, the conversation we had in 2019 had nothing to do with parenting with me and her. Yeah, okay, it touched a lot about, but it was being handled. Yeah, I think we did. Yeah, we did have a deep conversation, but yeah, about me and her and everything that has surrounded me over the years from when I was born, even from before I was born. Like, that was the first time in my life, in 20 years, 29 years of my life, then, that we had a very deep conversation with my mom. And oh, it was, like I said, I think it was actually a beginning of my healing journey for me and her's relationship, which relationship was shattered, but both of us had no idea, or like our relationship was shattered in a way. And yeah, and then for my dad, we actually had a very deep, I think it was like a 4 hour or something conversation with my dad last year, where we were able to go deep into conversations surrounding also my relationship between me and him, and we were able to understand each other for the first time also in 30 years, because we had never spoken about these things. So I had opportunity to talk to we had opportunity to have a heart-to-heart talk with each other, and we understood the issues. We were able to realize it's true, there were issues surrounding our upbringing, and the reason why I've decided to take it upon myself to use my life or my story is, guys, there are things we are doing our best. Like my parents did the best in their capacity, and they did what they knew was the best as far as parenting was concerned. But there are issues, and the issues I'm raising here, especially where I'm using my own life story, is because, guys, um mine was the extreme cases, and the reason why I'm sharing my own story out there is for us, especially us, the current generation of parents, to try as much as possible to avoid the extremes, like in my case, in one or two children out there's cases, you know. And why I'm sharing my story also, another thing is, my parents acted from a place of ignorance. They didn't know any better. They did not know. They didn't hear someone's story. They didn't, like, they knew okay, what they did was what they knew, all that they knew. So I'm not coming, I'm not sharing my story to post blames on who has done what. Like I said, they knew. Trust me, I'm not just that I'm not going to the nitty-gritty of what the actual story for both my parents are. If I did, you guys were going to hold your cheeks and understand, like, oh my goodness, I understand him. I understand her dad, why they, trust me, you guys, I have even loved my dad more for having found out the things I did found out. The only issue is he didn't see it fit to share with me as a child. And in his own words, he thought he was protecting me. He protecting me as his child, not to know about the issue, the so many different things that were going on around. But now it's when I told, like I said, when we had had conversation with him, is when actually he was surprised to find out how much I had known or how much I had experienced. And that's what most of our parents are. That's what most of our parenting has been. That's how most of us have been parented. The parents don't tell us nothing. uh we also don't tell nothing to our parents because there's never a platform or there's never an opportunity for us to express our feelings to our parents throughout our growth, our upbringing. And our parents are never to tell us nothing, they have nothing to explain to us whatsoever throughout our parenting. And we grow up with these emotions, whether it being positive emotions, whether it being negative. We grew up with them, and there's a way, like I said, there's a way those emotions or those experiences certain things in our lives, and we have no idea of what those things are. And how did I come to know? You guys, I also had no. Oh, okay, yeah, I think I have always had issues, especially with my issues with my mom. I actually didn't think, you guys, I didn't think I actually had issues with my mom. Like, guys, I know I love that woman so much. I know she had done her I had no idea I had issues with my mom. But of course, surrounding my dad's case, I have expressed it quite to a number of relatives for sure. Over the years, I've spoken to different people, which I shouldn't have, but I had no choice. But I had to seek help, or I had to reach out to these people thinking they would help fix our situation. That didn't work out. I think it even ended up damaging our relationship more, I should say. Yeah, but that is what actually happened. But where was my wake up call? Where was my moment of realization of, oh, it had been that bad? So for those of you who are coming across this video for the first time, or who are coming across my story for the first time, guys, the year 2020, which still feels heartbreaking today, because it's something I never ever thought would have happened to me or to my life. Because, guys, I've been one of the most judgmental human beings I know, where you're judging someone just by the way they appear, or you're judging someone by the way they talk, or you're judging someone. But whew, karma happened to me. Karma happened to me necessarily because, guys, I had a mental breakdown. And I had a mental breakdown, and okay, that's the conversation. Unfortunately, so many people I know are afraid to have to talk to me about. But I'm looking forward to, guys, I'm looking forward to having those conversations. People who come across these videos, who happen to know my people who are close to me, whose names I will give here: Patricia, Steffi, Celesta, my mom. Whew, there are people who got to experience my craziness, or who got to experience that moment of meltdown of mine prior to my hospitalization. Guys, when the day when you as forever, honestly, I'm ready to have those conversations with you. I'm ready for us to go back to those moments and talk about it, because like I said, you guys, I don't know what you guys feel, or I don't know if it's sympathy that you feel for me, if it's like whatever you guys feel. I want to hear those feelings, because it was real. See, it was real. I'm being honest here. I had a mental breakdown. I ended up in a mental hospital, which is something for my people, for us Lugbaras, for us Africans. It's something like no way. kind of situation, especially for people who know me, people who have been close to me over the years, people who were close to me in the year 2019, beginning of 2020, because I left Uganda in January of 2020. People who saw me, guys, let's be honest, you would have never in your wildest thoughts ever had a problem. I looked okay. I am one of the friendliest person. I've made a lot of friends over the years. You guys, we do talk, we do have conversations, we do laugh. Despite everything that has been going on in my life for the past few years, 2017, 18, 19, I had a blast in a certain way. But all that, I was in a survival mode. That's why I'm so thankful to friends like Celesta, because this girl, I don't know. Okay, the kind of love I have for this girl in particular, like she has no idea that she was saving a life after the things that I discovered in the year 2020. Because loneliness, if you're going through something, the worst place you can be is to be with yourself or by yourself. That's the worst place you can be if you're going through some things. It could be lack of job, it could be a breakup, it could be lack of school fees, it could be family issues, whatever it is. The worst place you can be when going through those things is to be by yourself or to be with yourself, to be you with you. And this girl in particular, especially in the year 2020, 2019, 2018, 2019, kept inviting me, taking me along to places. And in these places, through her, I got to meet so many friends. And oh my God, guys, we were baby shower, birthday party. I should say, I don't, let me not use a terrible word like that. Yeah, but like for example, we were in baby showers, we were in birthdays. Even some of the birthdays and baby showers I found myself in, these are not close friends to me, but I found myself in them. Like I was always in those things, and those were like my saviors, because I would go into these things, you could laugh your heart out, you eat cake is my weakness, guys. Cake is my weakness. So those moments, she was saving a life. There are family events at her sister's places, whatever. She just gives me a call, favor, can we go here? And I don't hesitate, because guys, I was so idle. I was not working. I wasn't, like at first I was in school, and then I had to drop out. I also shared that story too. So much was going on in my life, but like I said, there are people who are never close to me, and I don't think even Celesta herself ever knew how deep the things I was going through are, because I don't think, I think she has an insight of some of the things that I would go through, but I don't think she even understood it. Like she had a clue, she understood how deep it was, but that never stopped us from having fun. Like she always tagged me along, like the events that were for her and her family, like more intimate, but in a way she always tagged me along, and I had fun. I met people who kept me so energetic. Like I don't know, my friends, Patricia, like my friends, the people who were really there for me, but they had like Hope, what's Hope's other name? You guys, what's Hope's other name? Hope the Tailor. Oh my God. Yes, Hope the Tailor. How come I'm forgetting Hope's other name? Hope the Tailor, the one who was at the Equity Bank corridor. Like I was that girl's place every day, to the extent that I got to meet friends who became close to me, who liked me. You guys, I'm a chatterbox. And talking has been my therapy. Also, that's another thing. Like, yeah, talking has been my therapy. So, like, I think people who come across this video, if you happen to know, especially the year 2019, guys, if you happen to interact with me the year 2019, I want you to reach out to me and let's have a conversation. Like, what did you think about me? Did you have any idea, or if there was something going on in my life or something? Yeah, reach out to me on that and let's talk. And then thereafter, then 2020 happened. I happened to now end up in a place where I was with myself. Like I was me, myself, and I. That's when hell broke loose and I had a mental breakdown. I ended up being hospitalized in a mental hospital. Guys, you have no idea what that means. Like right now, the people we see walking on the streets of Arua who look mentally perturbed, and we guys we're thinking, oh my goodness, I no longer think like that. I no longer also think, oh, I didn't those could be issues. I'm not here coming to say, oh no, maybe they are not. No, I don't know. But I feel like there are situations where those people have found themselves that could have been like my scenario. There could be scenarios of those people who have ended up on our streets or who are even living in our homes, and we have already diagnosed them saying they are mentally ill. Yeah. So I had an extreme moment. I ended up in a mental hospital. I remember the first day I was taken to the hospital, and just by the way I was expressing myself, I remember I met this counselor who the icebreaker was just like, oh my goodness, you're so angry, like you are so who okay who are you mad at, you know? And she's like, I feel like you've held so much anger for the longest time, you know? Who could it, like, who could, okay, what could it be? Guys, when we, were, you guys, counselors or therapists or whatever they are called, these guys, I don't know. I have mad respect, like mad respect for them, and that's my inspiration. That's why I want to become one. That's why I decided to enroll for masters in counseling psychology, because one human being, a stranger that I just meet in less than 5 minutes, breaks me. I feel like undresses my inner soul, and after having 3 to 4, okay, I think it was 1 hour and something conversation with this person, I feel like a different person. I feel like a weight has been taken off my chest. So yeah, my admission in the hospital, in the mental hospital, uh, key point being I had anger issue, and I have this anger that I've held on to for the longest time. And so when we dug to the origin of this anger, these angers stemmed way back from 5, 6, 7 years old, you know? And like I said, now that's when this had to do so much with the kind of parenting that I had. And that's why I'm on this platform sharing to us how we could do better, how we can equip ourselves as individuals to be better parents, not for our children to end up into a breaking point like me. Because now let's be honest, let's be real. Right now the world is getting lonelier and lonelier. We're ending up being with ourselves other than the kind of social lifestyle that we used to have is kind of dying slowly. And imagine if our children have encountered experiences that like I did, and then they tomorrow, 20 years, 30 years later, find themselves alone by themselves, where all the different distractions that they have had that had kept them whole, are not there, and then they break down like me. And God forbid, oh, how about they end up committing suicide, they die? How about they decide to resort into seeking refuge into drugs and every other thing? And then and then one time you find out you played a role in your child ending up that way. Like, how would you feel? Because for me, it will break me, because like I said, I never in my wildest dreams ever thought I would. Okay, Favor is not one of the people who would end up in a mental hospital, guys. Never ever in my wildest dreams. And my diagnosis was PTSD and severe depression. That was my diagnosis, you know. And like I said, okay, some of the things, like the things that I experienced in the last 3 years, which was where the severe depression supposedly happened, and like the origin stems back to the childhood and all that. And that's the reason, that's the background to why I'm here adamantly emphasizing and talking about these things, I'm not in any way attacking any of my parents. I'm not in any way attacking any parent. I'm not in any way discrediting any parents parenting. But like I said, these parents we have, they have done their best, the best way they know how, the best way they know how. That's how they parented us. But like I'm saying, we could do better. We could do better. We by equipping ourselves with the different skills, with the knowledge that some of us have been able to acquire, you know. And I come to my psychology, my master's in psychology class, and then they started teaching us about evolution, human evolution, and then how it affects development, how it affects a child's brain, a child's life, how this even affects a child in an adult life, and then everything just makes sense to what my experience that I had in the mental hospital was, and it just I don't know, like that's what I'm saying. I'm here for us to have these conversations. I'm not having an attack. I have nothing against anyone. I love my parents. You guys, you have no idea of how I love my parents. You have no idea how I'm longing for the next time that I'm going to give a hug, a huge hug to my dad, to my mom, like, you have no idea of how much I'm looking for. And at this point in time, I'm happy that I've had to go through this experience. I've had to go through the counseling. I've had to go through even the classroom experience, master's class, where I've now learned more. And this is going to give me an opportunity to even build stronger relationships. I'm just asking God to give me at least the next 10 years with my both parents to experience, now for us to approach love, child and parent relationship from a different level, for us to make up for the lost time that we have not had to build this. And you guys have no idea, I love my two parents so much. I'm looking forward to starting on a different note, having an open relationship with them, where we can now have conversations, where we can now address our feelings. They also do have the disappointments in me too over the years, and for if we can start a new start, where if they're disappointed in me, if there's something I've done that they're not happy with, they can express it to me. If there's something they have done and I'm not happy with, I can express to them. And I also like to have that same experience with my own children too, to have that open relationship with them, where we can interact with each other, we can address our disappointments in each other when they arise, and to build a better relationship. And we can, like, none of my children have to end up the way that I've had to end up, to be fixed in a mental institution. That's not a nice dream for any child or for any parent to even have to experience. Like I said, up to today, my I feel like my mom, or even my dad, even everyone else, my family members who have had from the first time they heard about my admission in the mental hospital. Of course, like I said, for most of our people, the first idea that comes into mind is, okay, this had maybe who could have been behind this, behind this, I mean, it always had to be a curse or a witchcraft, or like, who is behind that. That was the first impression, at least, that I got to know from some of my family members. And I'm looking forward to having those conversations with them. But I've been here to educate them, like, this had nothing to do with someone being behind, someone with bewitching me, or someone cursing me, or this had nothing to do. It had to do with experiences of A, B, C, D. And I don't know if they've understood it. I don't know if they got the point, but I'm not going to give up on having those conversations. And please, if it's your first time here, don't forget to subscribe. Let's grow this channel together. But I emphasize again, I am not in any way attacking anyone. Our parents have done their best, and the best way they know how. All the ways that they have parented us is the way they were parented. It's the best way they know that parenting is being done. It could have damaged us in a way. It could not have damaged us in a way. But like I said, I'm here for us to share that we can do better as parents. And please, that's all that I had for you for today. Love you all.